Welcome to the Havasupai Indian Reservation. I am your host, Christine. Let's freaking go! Welcome to the trailhead. If you listen carefully, you can hear a helicopter coming up. We've had quite the snafu this morning. So we left the hotel in Peach Springs, which is about an hour and 20-minute drive in. Fearless Leader, who has all the permits, did this several years ago, and they've changed their check-in system. So now you have to check in kind of by Peach Springs at this lodge or something. So we came all the way in and then found that out. So she drove back out to go get our wristbands and tags for our bags for the mules. I think maybe they didn't open until 8. So I have now been waiting for her to come back for 3 hours. She is not here yet. So 2 of our party of 8 have already started down the descent. We do have to have our bags tagged by 10 o'clock. It is 8:55, so I'm really hoping she shows up in the next 30 minutes. So far, it's a slow start. We wanted to be hiking by 6:30, and it's looking like it's going to be closer to 10, which is fine. It's not a big deal. It's not like I have a meeting to get to or anything, but it is quite toasty at the moment. Quite toasty. The Havasupai campground and backpacking trip is a bucket list item for a lot of people. It's located in Arizona, just to the west of the Grand Canyon. Although it's a totally separate area, if you wanted to drive from one to the other, it's still going to take a couple of hours. This is a permitted backpacking trip only. Whether you're staying at the campground or at the lodge in the Supai village, you have to have a permit. They are challenging to get. I will leave a link down in the description box if you want to go check it out. I think getting on the cancellation list is probably your best bet. I was able to go on this hike because my husband's cousin, okay, did you get that? Had someone back out of her group and she had an extra spot. So she's reaching out to everyone, hey, who can join me on this trip? I don't want to let one of the permits go to waste. And when Dave brought it to my attention and said, you should really go on this, I was like, you know what? I'm always down for an adventure. I don't even know what it is, but we're gonna freaking do it anyway. Remember earlier when I talked about the late start? That ended up being a big problem because we had to hike in about 95-degree weather. My brain was boiling. By the time we got down and got to our campground and set everything up, all of us were exhausted. So we plopped ourselves down, sweaty, and started making our dehydrated meal dinners. I kicked it off with the chicken teriyaki. I really liked it. This was quite delicious. I almost wish I had brought chicken teriyaki for every dinner because that's how delicious it was. And then we crashed. Day 2, we started our hike out to go to Beaver Falls. Wait till you see this, it's amazing. But we had to go down the dreaded Mooney Falls chains first. The heat is perfect for swimming.
Yes. I won't even be as thirsty this time because we're in the water.
Amen.
My body will be all cooled off.
The Mooney Falls chains and descent down to the bottom of this canyon is well known for being very scary for those who have a fear of heights. And I don't know if you knew this, but that would be me. I have a fear of heights. Now, what I will say is I'm no stranger to heights, but I've done my fair share of rock climbing. I have lead climbed. What's the right pronunciation there? I have done Angel's Landing 3 times. So I've done this before, but everyone online on the Facebook pages for this hike and this backpacking trip talks about how they're frozen, they can't do it, it's scary. So I was aware of what was coming up in front of me and excited to experience it myself. As you can see here, this is the easy part. It's kind of like rock steps cut into the side of the hill, and then you start going into caves and it gets crazy. Hey, there's a picnic table.
We could have moved down here.
We're gonna just camp right here. Yeah, I'll take a picture.
Yeah, I don't know how everybody comes up and down the same route.
Oh my gosh, look at this thing. Okay.
Yep, everyone just takes turns. It's like the Yosemite to Half Dome.
All the hiking apps state that Beaver Falls is about 6 or so miles from the campground. I did not find that to be the case. Now, my Garmin watch could have pinged off the canyon walls and tracked it incorrectly, but I had over 9 miles total. Do you ever put your hands in these little handholds and then you're like, really hope there's not a spider in there?
I'm more worried about like a bat.
A bat? Oh no.
Because we saw a bunch of bats yesterday.
All right, that's the money shot right there. That's so nice. Oh, we do have a line. Okay. No sweat? Yeah, a lot of people wear gloves because the chains get wet.
So the chains get wet, so they're slippery?
Yeah, down further, yeah.
Oh.
Like near the bottom.
So you have like extra grippy gloves on?
Jessica brought some, but she also said she didn't bring any last time and she thought it was fine.
What?
Look at all those gloves. Yeah, it is supposed to get worse. I don't see why not.
The what? The gloves?
Better safe than sorry. This one looks pretty good. Except it's missing a finger.
Yeah, I'm actually just gonna wait. I think it's safer to knock on that.
Dude, that is straight down, isn't it? Okay, we are on the chains at Mooney Falls. And there's a line. I don't know if that's coming through on camera. And it is legit straight down. It is like gung 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 gung. We got a little bit of a backup.
Dude, if I
Struggle.
fall and you catch it on camera, you can put it on this
If you fall, you're just gonna land on the people below you. There is a lot of people. I mean, I think as long as you're hanging on. I mean, there's chains all the way down.
They're waiting for a ladder.
See? Oh, there's no ladder?
There is a ladder.
They're waiting
You have
for...
to go one at a time.
Oh, okay, gotcha. As long as you hold the chains, I think it's actually okay. Is that look scary to you at all?
No.
Nah, looks fine. I've done worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just taking a break because we've got a little bit of a backup. There's how many people do you think are in this line right here? 20? 20? 20 people. But look at that view. Here it is in real time coming down the Mooney Falls stairs and chains. So as you can tell, you're basically scaling down a cliff, and it's not that bad. The problem occurs when you get down to where the mist is blowing on everything, so everything is wet. The wood ladders, wet. I don't know if you knew this, but wood ladders that are wet are extremely slippery. The rock is wet and crumbling off in your hands. The chains are wet and slippery. So as long as you have a good hold on the chains and your feet are steady, it's okay. Just go slow and it's fine. Because of the line, it took us 48 minutes to get to the bottom of the ladder. And going back up when we came back, there was no line at all. And it probably took us a minute and a half to scale all the way back up and another 2 minutes to make it back to our campground. The time of day you go really does make a difference. If you don't want a line, you don't want to wait, the earlier in the morning, the better. Now comes the time of the video where I am here to answer all the questions you asked on the last video. Namely, what are the things I wish I'd had? What are the things I learned? So here we go. Let's talk food. I don't think I brought quite enough food, and I definitely did not bring enough salty food. So I was really happy to have quite a bit of Element with me. I drank an entire packet every single day. Each packet is 1,000 milligrams of sodium, and it was so hot. And we were sweating so much that I really felt like I needed that. The dehydrated meals or freeze-dried meals or whatever they are for backpacking, the chicken teriyaki was by far my favorite. The lasagna was okay. The chili mac, never ever buy the chili mac. It's a bad choice. It's no good. I made it, so I ate it, and I hated it. It was not the vibe. I wish I had had like a savory breakfast. I did have some dehydrated meals that were breakfast, like a biscuits and gravy and like an egg scramble thing. I kind of wish I'd brought them. I ended up not bringing them, and I can't remember why. I think I had too many sweet things, like the Pop-Tarts, not feeling it. The protein powder, didn't want it. I wanted salt and I wanted higher quantities. So some of my group, which you can see in front of me right here, they brought backpacking meals that were like 800, 850 calories per bag. And mine were all about 400 to 500 per bag. And I was really feeling that. We were so active and moving so much that I definitely went and bought some fry bread tacos. Are we crossing?
We're prepared. You're prepared.
Haha, I just got to put it into sport mode.
Switch these bad boys out.
Yeah, switch them out. Oh my gosh, that's frigid. Yes, indeed, I hiked the entire 11 miles that we ended up hiking this day in my chacos. We were in and out of the river so many times. We were swimming in the river. We were swimming at the waterfalls that your feet are just kind of wet all the time. Some of the other people in our group would switch back and forth, like into water shoes and back out. The girl right in front of me, she wore Tevas the entire time. Those are a little bit lighter than Chacos. She said she wished she'd had her Chacos because they have a sturdier sole for the rock climbing section at Mooney Falls. But honestly, my feet are very, very happy in my Chacos. By the third day, my skin was a little red, not really like blisters, not really like hot spots, just like the wet fabric rubbing on my skin more than anything. So I know a lot of people will wear wool socks with a Chaco or a Teva, and I could totally see how that would work perfectly. Okay, things I wish I brought that I did not bring. Hot breakfast. I wish I'd brought hot breakfast. This morning I had one of those dehydrated like granola with blueberries. It's add cold water. It's not my favorite. It's cold. I don't know. Not digging it. Last night at dinner I had one of those dehydrated teriyaki chicken, which was surprisingly good. Wish I'd had two. Also wish I'd brought some little dessert guys. Like some of the other people in our group had like cheesecakes and like dehydrated apple pie and things like that. And I kind of wish I'd had those. I was really, really hungry yesterday. I also wish I'd brought a pair of really, really lightweight flip-flops just to wear around camp. I kind of was going to use my Chacos for that, which is what I am doing. But it makes it harder for them to dry out after being in the water, like walking around in the water, because they get all dusty. It's not dust, it's mud, actually. Wish I'd had more candy. Licorice, Mike and Ike's, gummy bears, like fruity things. I did bring Mike and Ike's at the very last minute, which ended up being awesome, like really great. Just wish I'd brought more, I guess. And I had an extra outfit, like extra pair of shorts and a tank top. Didn't make it in my bag, so I think it's gonna end up being fine because I rinsed out like a tank top and sports bra in the river yesterday, and they seem to have dried out fine. They don't smell, so I'll just have to rewear some of my stuff. But it is really hot, really hot. I think it's only 10 right now, and it's already 85 or 90. It's gotta be 90. And when you're not in the water, oh my gosh, it's hard to fall asleep at night because it is so hot still, even at like 7 p.m., 8 p.m., really, really hot. I ended up drinking 5 liters yesterday. Basically didn't go to the bathroom, so really dry, really hot. And so I made sure to hydrate a bunch last night and this morning. I think I went through 5 liters in a 12-hour span, and I'm feeling a lot better. My legs feel good, my feet feel good. I love hiking in my Chacos, highly recommend. Well, we made it to Beaver Falls. I think we're gonna end up down there. Gotta make it all the way down. Here we go. After swimming at Beaver Falls and having lunch for a little while, we hiked all the way back, and it was time to go back up the chains and ladders at Mooney Falls. And I was doing my best to try and give you like a first-person view of this experience because I totally forgot to bring the chest mount to the camera, so I jimmied like a little chest mount with my swimsuit and the little selfie stick. Try my best to give you a first-person experience of what it's like climbing up. And once again, the hardest part is that all of it is wet. So just think like wet, slippery rock, wet, slippery chains, wet, slippery wooden ladder and stairs. But other than that, I thought going up was significantly easier, like mentally, than going down. We got back to our campground about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, somewhere in there. So we all kind of rinsed off in the river a little bit. And even though we were kind of wet the whole time, anytime you're out of the water, you dry off really quickly and get sweaty again. And then we walked down to Havasu Falls, where they were selling the fry bread tacos. And I totally bought one thinking it was enormous. I was like, oh, I shouldn't have bought this whole This whole one is like the size of my forearm. I should have split it. And the next thing I knew, when I looked down, it was all gone. Yeah, I ate the whole thing by myself, and it wasn't even hard. Final thoughts on the trip. I had the most fun ever. I'm so glad I went. And would I do it again? Absolutely. I'm already talking to Dave about taking my whole family to go do this, all my boys, Haley, and experiencing the whole thing. And now I know not to pack Chili Mac. Here's the thing that you do need to know. I want to be totally upfront with you guys. This is not a budget-friendly backpacking trip, not even a little bit. The permits are $455 per person for the 3-night backpacking permit. Yeah, you heard me. $455 per person. So if you're looking for a budget backpacking trip, this is not going to be it. This is a splurge. I also think it's one of the most spectacular places on earth, and you won't get a similar experience almost anywhere. So is it worth it to have this amazing experience? I think so. And can you get it by cutting out a few luxuries in your life like the Starbucks run? I think so as well. Had a great time with you. I'll see you in the next video.